Recording now. Great.
All
So,
right.
hello and welcome to Unleash our Essential Life Skills session. So, today we are going to be talking about the basics of entrepreneurship. And with us to discuss that is none other than Dreamtribe CEO Esther Neema Onyango, someone I knew
Hi.
a few months back, and it's been great working and dealing with her in very many areas. So I'm glad and I'm honored today to be able to host her, and I believe that we are going to have a great conversation. So let's stay tuned and let's see what we can learn. So once again, we're going to be
Mm-hmm.
discussing the basics of entrepreneurship. And there is no better place to start than to know who Esther Neema Onyango is and
Yeah.
to hear a little bit about Dream Tribe and what Dream Tribe does and all that. So, welcome, Esther. Tell us a bit about
Mhm.
yourself and a bit about Dream Tribe as we get started.
All right. Hi, everyone. I think you said it's Kachengei, right?
Yes,
I got it right.
you
Oh,
did.
okay.
Yes,
Kachengei
you got
and
it right.
me. Okay, thank you. And Mr. Kimani, thank you guys for joining us.
Yes,
Very
welcome.
happy to be part of it. And thank you, Samuel, for having me. I know I've been checking in and getting wisdom occasionally. And so
Y-
I'm really happy to be part of this.
You're,
So
you're
my
welcome.
name is Esther Neema Onyango. And I am an entrepreneur. My background is actually in public relations, and I've worked for a long, long time as a journalist, and then now, but I always was an entrepreneur at heart. How you say that even in primary you are said. I don't know if any of you guys went to boarding school, but I went to boarding and I was selling biscuits. And I didn't have to sell biscuits, I just did it, right? And
Ah,
so I think I've always really been thrilled with the art of selling. And so I began from a very early stage. And
yeah.
even in high school, I was there buying really cheap lip gloss and selling to my schoolmates, things like that. So it's a habit that becomes part of you. But later, I would go ahead and define it um, as entrepreneurship and business. And I know entrepreneurship and business are somewhat a bit different because entrepreneurship is innovation and business is about trading. But literally, I think I began the whole love for trading at a very early age. And
Yeah.
so at age 26, I started my first business, which was an event company, and
Yeah.
that is what. So I started as an event company. Then I did my first event, and I realized I thought many people will come and actually pay for the event, and I ended up with about four people
Oh
paying for the
yeah.
event, and
Oh,
everyone else came for free, right?
okay.
Uh, then the business venture narrowed down. It became catering because then I had bought like a lot of dishes that now had to be used for something. Then I started to cater. So in the process of wondering how can I reach more markets, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
is when I actually conceptualized the idea of Dream Tribe. Because
Mm-hmm.
then I was saying, if if I'm having such a challenge in marketing, in finding networks, how
Yeah.
then can I um, reach more markets and reach more networks? And how can
Mm-hmm.
I help other young people who are also suffering the same issue
Yeah.
to reach their markets and reach networks to actually be able to achieve that?
Mm-hmm.
So I sat there, and one day I was just thinking about it, and so Dream Tribe came about.
Wow.
But it was
Wow.
not called Dream Tribe then, it was called the network. Yeah, so I called
Ah.
it the network. But over time, it evolved, and I thought, what other challenge do we as business people have? And that's actually, you can't afford to pay a team. What if
Yeah.
now we can create a network of all aspects of the business. Yeah, so that's where it started.
Great, great, great. It's always good to hear
Yeah,
stories of entrepreneurs and where they started and that entire journey, because that's where the lessons
Danny.
are. That's where the lessons
I
are.
know. Yes,
So
yes.
probably the next thing I would want to hear from you is what would you say are the highlights of your entrepreneurial journey?
The highlights.
Yes.
um, I feel like the first time, like from the first time someone, like the people who attended my event, they
Yeah.
paid to actually come to my first event, or
Mm-hmm.
the people that actually paid for me to cater for them, or
Yeah.
the people who paid me to do public relations for them under Dreamtribe. You
Yeah.
know, those are things that are such highlights, right? But
Yeah.
also just the journey of it, like every step you make,
Uh,
every step you take is like a miracle, you know, because you're, I think when you're starting, you're constantly second guessing yourself every day. And so
eh,
when it turns out amazing, that's a highlight, right?
sure,
And
sure,
then
sure.
when I started getting
Just
recognition
to think
for
that
the work
somebody
that I'm
can
doing,
pay for what you're doing.
and many people being interested. Yeah. Sorry?
Just to think that somebody can pay for what you're doing.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's amazing. Like that was the most amazing. You know, when you get money
Yes.
for your energy.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think I think it, all of us here are entrepreneurs. We know how much energy we send out there.
Sure, sure,
Yeah.
sure, sure, sure.
So there's a lot of highlights, or even winning awards, and you're like, or even actually the other thing that is so fascinating is when
Yeah.
someone knows the name of your company, and
Uh-huh.
you're like, you know it. That is such a highlight for me.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
So, this is Unleash Hour, and part of what we do is we try
Yeah.
to help the people probably who are thinking of entering into something like this and all that. So, one of the questions which I normally ask and which I want people to respond to is what do you wish you had known before you started this journey of entrepreneurship as Esther?
What do I wish that I knew? I'm like, I don't know. Like I wish. No, I don't know whether there's something you can really wish you knew, because it's
Mm-hmm.
like you discover everything along the way.
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
of course, you don't know it's going to be a very tough journey, right?
Yeah.
First, you don't probably. I don't know what. Do you find selling awkward somewhere? Like, did you ever find selling, like, even asking for money for your product or service? Did you find that awkward?
Thankfully, I think I've done it for quite some time in a few
Ah,
places, and I got used to it. But of course, it wasn't always easy from the onset.
it wasn't easy.
No.
Okay, yeah. For me, actually, I ended up doing a lot of pro bono work, because
Yeah.
just that part of saying I could be paid for this, things
Uh-huh.
like that.
Yeah.
So it's just a journey of growing and stretching, and I
Yeah.
don't think
Mm-hmm.
anyone can prepare you for the journey. You have
Yeah.
to take it. Yeah,
Mm. Mm.
you really
Mm.
have to go step by step and
Yeah.
take it, because a
Uh-huh.
lot, actually, the greatest fear is I
Yeah.
may not succeed.
Uh-huh.
And I remember one of my friends, and I told her when she was venturing into entrepreneurship, and
Yeah.
um, she said, okay, it's possible that I won't succeed. And
Yeah.
so if that happens, well, oh well, at least I actually did it. But it's
Yes.
also possible that I could succeed. And there's
Yeah.
only just one way to find out. So I
Uh-huh.
think you have to literally go through that
Yeah.
process of trying to sell your book to
Uh-huh.
know
Yeah.
what to know,
Yeah.
but I think I wish it wasn't as, like, the hardness of it was
Yeah.
told more,
Yeah.
but it's not, actually, you enjoy it
Uh-huh.
diligently, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not as easy as it always comes across. You know, like
Yeah.
when you read Rich Dad Poor Dad, yeah. Yeah. You really don't feel like you are rich at all. So it's quite something, yeah.
So from your perspective, where does the
Yeah.
entrepreneurial journey begin?
Mhm. I think for every person it's different.
Yeah.
It's for like a lot of young people feel the pressure like to leave their work and become entrepreneurs or do business because that's where the money is, right? And
Yeah.
that's what a lot of people are told. Yeah. So you have a lot of young people saying things like um,
I
they
want to
leave
be
their
my
job
own
because they,
boss.
yes, it's about being your own boss,
Mm,
or I cannot take rules.
mm.
Everywhere has rules. Entrepreneurship has rules, so you cannot also disobey any of that. But I think
Actually, the
if
toughest
you see a
rules are
problem,
in
mhm,
entrepreneurship. I'm saying actually the toughest,
yeah,
yeah,
it's true. Yeah, because you see, think about it. If you're not nice to, yeah, if you're not nice to people, you can't afford
hmm
to not be nice to like literally everyone because they could be your business partner, they could be your client, they could be your customer, you know.
yeah,
And so yeah, so there are many rules. So I think you become an entrepreneur when you
hmm
have something of value to do. You've seen a problem, you've
yeah.
identified a solution, and you
hmm
would like to to make it happen.
Mm. Great. So what are some of the
Is someone
beliefs?
frozen? Okay.
Can you hear me?
And you'd like to see it happen.
I was asking, what are some of the beliefs you had about entrepreneurship
Mhm.
which have been shattered in the real world? Like this is what you thought it would be, and it turns out to be totally different. What are some of those
Samuel,
beliefs
I
you
can't
had?
hear you. Please come again.
Let me see what's happening. So can you hear me now? Hello?
Like, what are some of the beliefs that have been shattered?
Yes. What are some of the beliefs about entrepreneurship that you had, which when you ventured for real, it became totally different?
Yeah. Okay. So, okay, let me even tell you how us guys were being convinced to get into entrepreneurship. Me and my
Yeah.
brother.
Uh-huh.
uh, which is so funny. So we were taken to Nairobi West. Actually, it was not entrepreneurship. Okay, yes, my dad called it entrepreneurship,
Yeah.
but it was technically business. Yeah, but business and entrepreneurship, I mean, one and the same thing usually that they're mean.
Mm-hmm.
So we were being shown different shops, different restaurants, and we were also being told the analogy of the rich dad and poor dad. And so we were being shown this is where the money is, you know.
Yeah.
So that already awakens you. You're so excited, you know. Then you're
Mm-hmm.
told how every millionaire is an entrepreneur, which is um, true. It's not a lie, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just that uh, when you get into it, is when
Yeah.
you realize, oh my gosh, it is tough. And
Uh-huh.
you also realize it's a journey before that ever happens, you
Yeah.
know, because
Yeah.
especially if you're already used to having consistent income and now you're actually going to find out how the income is going to be coming, you know. So I think it's the same way they're saying climbing the mountain, and you can be so fascinated about being at the top of Mount Kilimanjaro or
Yeah.
Mount Kenya,
Yeah.
but what is the process of getting to the mountain, you know?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And I think it's a process that a lot of people miss out, but
Yeah.
also because psychologically you are
Mm.
not prepared, like you are not prepared for the journey,
For
or
the
you
for the
don't have the
process.
skills, which I
Mm-hmm.
think skills are very important. Like
Yeah.
if from university or primary, we were constantly learning some of these skills in entrepreneurship,
Yeah.
maybe we will be.
Yeah. Great. And actually, that brings me to my next question, which has actually to do with skills. What are, in your opinion, what are the top 3 skills you believe an entrepreneur needs to have as they get started? Are we frozen? Hello? Hello?
There he is.
I don't know what's happening with the network today, but we stopped at a point where I was asking, can you guys hear me now?
Hi, Samuel.
Can you guys hear me now?
Sorry.
Can you hear me
Yes.
now?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I was
I can hear you.
okay, great. I was at the point where I was now asking, what are the top 3 skills you believe an entrepreneur must have as they get started?
As they get started.
Yeah.
Courage is number one. You must have courage
Yeah.
because the entire journey will actually be testing your ability to take the next step.
Mm-hmm.
Resilience, the
Yeah.
ability to persist and to literally go through the whole way,
Yeah.
because it's not like the path is always very encouraging.
Yeah.
But just the ability to have the resilience to keep going.
Uh-huh.
So courage, resilience, and also people skills. I think that's the most, because everything will be about people, right? And
Yeah.
so even let's say in as much as you are not so bold or confident or you talk to people, I think the entire journey of entrepreneurship will force you into conversations,
Yeah.
either through networking, marketing, or selling.
Uh, Great. Let me request everyone else to mute so that we don't have that interference. So what, in your opinion, keeps people from taking the leap into entrepreneurship? Because a lot of people are jittery about getting into entrepreneurship. What do you think is responsible for that? Hello? Esther, did you get my question? Hello?